What I was saying, women get too comfortable. You getting too comfortable. Now you know this man used to love when you was dating to have sex. He loves head 4 to 5 times out of 7 days.
Fellatio, top.
He likes top. He likes top and he likes sex. And he was doing it when you was dating, and all of a sudden when y'all get married, you get so comfortable. You act like you forgot that because he ain't said nothing. Because like I said too, men need to communicate. But you'd have got so comfortable that you forget that, and then you think he just stopped. No, ma'am. And then you wonder why he cheat. Keep it spicy. We're calling it dating while married. But you want to continue to date your husband. You want to continue to explore him. You want to continue to express needs, or, just make it fun. Make it exciting. It doesn't go away just because you got comfortable. Women, stop getting comfortable. Tonight, we're going to have a conversation, my husband and I, about dating while married, or basically cheating while you're married. The reason we're approaching this is because it seems like the enemy has an attack on marriages, or is devaluing or trying to redefine what marriage is. So it's an important topic, I feel, to share some light on and to give reasons, or just have a conversation about what goes on and why people date while married.
First, is several different types of marriages. Mm-hmm. I wanted to touch those first. The first type of marriage I got is finance. People definitely marry him for the bag. It's kind of a common thing. It's in all the music. It's in all the videos, movies. It's just a thing now. Same-sex marriages, open marriages, and polygamy. Those are the 4 types of marriages that I like to call new marriages. Just really not traditional marriages. So I want to touch on those first.
I guess when I think about all of those marriages, as a woman who I consider as a God-fearing woman, I only think God really honors, God only honors one of those, and is what he designed marriage to be, because marriage does represent, the body of Christ, or represents Christ.
So I want to get to some of the juicy stuff. I got the top 4 places affairs started. The workplace, number 1. Gym, number 2. Social media. And it's normally because of bonding over shared commitments, such as children, jobs, work, situations, age. That's my classmate. Ain't talked to her in a while. In church. Yeah. So those are the top 4 places that affairs start.
Let's talk about why they start.
Well, at the workplace, I'm definitely I spend more awake time with her than I do at home. If I work 12 hours, I spend more awake hours with her than I do my kids and or my wife. What do you mean?
That's true.
So time spent.
But
people trying to get through this shift, a lot gets spoken about.
And I can feel that, but I have to say, if a man, okay, so true enough, you have to work 12 hours and you might have a conversation with people, but if it leads into where they're cheating, then it's like, what open door was left open for him to feel like he needs to cheat?
The door that was left open was if my wife slips at all. You see what I'm saying?
See, that's why
if my wife slips at all, this lady, she's here for me. She's going to console me, hold me down, buy me some lunch. Okay? It's going down.
And it kind of goes to, and I hope the women don't attack me or feel attacked. You know what I'm saying? I think I told you this before. I don't think women should get too comfortable, because I think that happens. I know a lot of women, friends, family, or just know of, who has dealt with their spouse cheating, and it's usually because they got comfortable. They start lacking in things that they used to do, that they no longer do. And this is not to say, I'm excusing man behavior. No, I feel like 9 out of 10% of men only cheats because their spouse either changed or something happened to where they're lacking of what they used to do. So women, we get comfortable. We get, oh, well, he's not doing this, or I got him already and I don't have to keep up to what he's used to. But if he liked this in the beginning, he's still going to like it. And just because he's not conversing it to you doesn't mean that you're supposed to, overlook it. You're supposed to still give that spice in a relationship. But that's not to excuse men, because men have to communicate. And I think women get comfortable and men lack communication sometimes. After, they say it maybe once or twice, then they kind of like, okay, well, such like you said on the job, who I spent majority of my time with, is willing and wanting to give me this. So, you know what I'm saying? I think a lot of times, not because you do have men who just cheat because that's just who they are. They I don't know why. They just cheaters. It's in their blood. It could be spiritual and some, we can go there, but I think 9% out of the 10 is usually because the woman lacked, and we shouldn't get so comfortable to think that, just because we got them now, we don't have to keep ourselves up. We don't have to spice things up. We don't have to be spontaneous. I personally like to be spontaneous with my husband, or, I think something that we talked about, explore each other. Keep that alive.
Definitely. I got some numbers for you. Professor Nicholas Wolfinger, University of Utah, his research shows that between 20 and 25% of married men cheat, and 10 to 15% of married women cheat as well. I thought that was crazy. Also, I have undercoverlovers.com. Asked 3,000 women and 3,000 men if their partners knew about their cheating, and found the overall percentage of straying spouses that never found out is 89%.
I believe it, because the divorce rate from the research I did with a first marriage is 50%. That means half of the people who gets married in 2024 is going to divorce if they got married the first time. The second time is as high as 60 to 67% for the second time around.
There's no point in getting married the second time.
I think
there's no point in retrying. I get it. You got married young and this and that and the third. It's not going to work out. You're not you're not marriage material.
Ooh, I don't.
You already been divorced.
Ooh.
The second time is 67%. What you say, 62%?
It did say that, 60 to 67%. But see, and I always have to hit it from the spiritual standpoint. I don't think you're supposed. God did never intend for a woman to get a divorce. You see what I'm saying? Or a man. I'm sorry, but I'm just speaking because I researched for a wife, because I don't know what the husband.
Couples.
For couples. So divorce was never what God said to do. Moses allowed it, but God did not want that. You know what I'm saying? He did not allow divorce. So when you go into that of the spiritual realm, like you're supposed to marry with purpose.
And I think Moses brought that headache on himself anyway. The Miriam lady was from another land, and when his desert years, she wasn't from Egypt. She definitely was not a Hebrew. Definitely 100% was not a Hebrew, and she definitely had different gods. So, well, when it came to gotta go back to Egypt and come on, bring my people out of Egypt, she's getting on my last nerve. I can't even work with her.
Well, then, you might say, I'm not a spiritual, or you might be into spirituality or not Christian. So I'm just going off what the Bible told me. So if you're not even into that, and you're looking into what they call this modern day open marriage, or polygamy. That's it, polygamy. Even if you're looking at that look like a headache. Going from just even the biblical standpoint, yes, God allowed it to happen, but he never intended for a man to have more than one wife. I have verses to back me up. We have 1 Corinthians 7:2. God tells the man to have his own wife and her own husband. Genesis 2:23-24. He tells her to cling to his wife. If he meant for it to be more than one, he would say wives. I'm just saying, when you lead them motherfucker, cling to your wives, but he didn't. He said wife. So you know what I'm saying. So in 1 Timothy 3:2, did I say that one? If I didn't, it says it as well. So it's numbers of time, but you know, you might have those people like where the Bible also says, you know, where the men had different wives. But was those not headaches? I had, and I told you this earlier. There's a story in the Bible where Hannah. It talks about a woman named Hannah. Hannah was had a husband and he had another wife, and the woman tormented her so much. Hannah went into the temple. She couldn't even talk to God. This woman bringing up her kids. Hannah ain't got no child. He loved her. He loved her. He gave her, I think, more gifts and stuff when he returned home. It tells you this in the Bible. I'm not lying. Look it up. And she cried out to God. She couldn't even get her words out. She cried so heavily and her heart was so heavy. God just heard her heart and blessed her with a child. So it's like a headache. Solomon is known to have many wives. Then he lose his mind. Like, he had so many wives with different religions and stuff. I mean, I'm against it. But if you doing that in this modern day time, at least be able to handle it. You know what I'm saying? Those men that God allowed to have different wives was able to provide for all wives and their children. I don't think you should be practicing that in 2024 if you can't handle. I mean, half of y'all can't even handle your mistress or side chicks that's ready to tell on you. I'm just saying.
And or take care of yourself and or be an independent male. I also got 15% of marriages are sexless. 7% haven't had sex in the past year. And 4% haven't had sex in the past 5 years. I hope they're only talking about old people, because if they're talking about just normal, regular to normal to middle-aged people, you know, that's pretty scary right there to have sexless marriages. Yeah.
And those numbers, I hear it all the time about how marriage decrease when you're, and you would think it's old people, but it kind of goes back to what I was saying. Women get too comfortable. You're getting too comfortable. Now, you know, this man used to love, when you was dating, to have sex. He loves head 4 to 5 times out of 7 days.
Fellatio, top.
He likes top. He likes top, and he likes sex, and he was doing it when you was dating, and all of a sudden when y'all get married, you get so comfortable, you act like you forgot that, because he ain't said nothing, because like I said too, men need to communicate, but you'd have got so comfortable that you forget that, and then you think he just stopped. No, ma'am. And then you wonder why he cheat. Keep it spicy. We're calling it dating while married. But you want to continue to date your husband. You want to continue to explore him. You want to continue to express needs, or, you know, just make it fun. Make it exciting. It doesn't go away just because you got comfortable. Women, stop getting comfortable.
When couples continue to date one another, they develop better communication skills. They're usually happier and more committed to one another, and tend to have a lower divorce rate. People who date each other tend to have a lower divorce rate. But let's go ahead and talk about how do you feel about ladies who know, singles who know that this person is in a marriage, male or female. This male or female is married, and these people know that, and they'll still, you know.
I think they're just as guilty.
No, I'm saying rather in a lot of cases, the married person would approach them too, though, you know, and they're single, so they're not violating this person's vows, because this person didn't do a vow. Single person didn't vow.
Well, if you have a man and a woman, whether he approach you, you approach him. If you have a man and a woman who went before God, yeah, you violated a covenant. You're asking for a curse to yourself. It's going to come back to you. Or if you're not a believer, and whatever you put in the universe is going to come back to you. Or you can call it karma. Whatever you want to call it, it's wrong. So if you're dating a married man, stop.
Or a married woman.
Stop. It's not right. It's not right whether he tells you. Now, I have been a single woman who, dated guys, and I feel like I never intentionally dated a married man and knew it. Like I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't condone that. Let me say that. But I have dated guys who wasn't married, and somebody might have told me, "Oh, he's supposed to be dating." So he's fair game. I'm sorry. I'm just telling you, they're fair game. If you haven't said "I do" up on an oath or a vow to God or whatever your beliefs is, that's fair game because technically you're still single. But if you're married and you know this person is married, whether you're approaching them or they're approaching you, you're wrong. But I thought it was interesting, some research I did, was that most married men choose women, and I'm just telling you what I read in the research, choose women who have low self-esteem, commitment issues. He wants somebody as a role in their life that he don't have to deal with the clinginess. He wants this, which normally says that if he's doing all of that, you know what I'm saying? And again, it kind of goes back to what I piggyback to what I was saying. He's lacking something from home. So as soon as she catch on or they have that conversation or he gets caught, you know, they're going to work it out and then it's over for you. Most of the times that's the case. Like, ma'am, what are you doing? You're wasting your time. You can say, well, I'm the one of the women with commitment issues. I don't want no long term this and that. Honestly, the whole point when I did the research is basically saying like something's broken within you and you need to work on it. Because why are you okay with not wanting that? Because women, we are emotional creatures. We get attached, and I don't care how much you say that you're not going to get attached or you're this person or you think you got male traits. You're going to get attached. You're going to get clean. We don't even open up until after sex. You see what I'm saying? Because something about that. And I can use an example, the Martell Hope. Here in Huntsville, if you watch the show, don't watch the show. I don't really know what's going on. You know, like, we don't watch it on a regular, but just knowing this man had a whole side chick for years. They end up in a divorce. And this girl, you know, somebody asked her, hey, why do you feel like you broke up this marriage and this and that? And she was like, no, he did that. It was already broken, this and that. And then later on, you see her crying, you shouldn't date no married man. I'm just saying, you shouldn't do this.
So
like
you saying I'm sorry to cut your wisdom. You saying that the lady who was cheating with him in the beginning ended up feeling the same way that the wife felt.
Absolutely. He still didn't choose. After he got the divorce, he's still not considered in a relationship with her. She has a whole baby by him. And when he was known for dating another celebrity or reality TV star, she was crying on the internet talking about what you shouldn't do. Like, we didn't know that, but maybe some people don't. You shouldn't date a married man. I don't care how tough you think you are. I don't think how you feel like you don't need this. You got it under control as a woman. You're going to get attached. We're emotional creatures. And then, I mean, we can go into it we're spiritual portals. I'm just saying, you got the spiritual stronghold. So I'm just saying, no, it's not right. I don't care if he did approach you. If you're okay with dating a married man, stop it. Because what you put out there will come back to you.
And since we're speaking on extramarital affairs right now, continuing extramarital affairs causes collateral damage to the entire family and irreversible damage to everybody involved. So the single person involved, the cheater, the married man, the married woman, whoever, you know, either way, she's definitely going to bust your windows out. He's definitely going to hit your husband up or something like that. Like something weird's going to happen. It's not going to be good. The kids are going to be affected. It's just, you know, it gets ugly.
It's no win.
No, it's no win.
I don't care what's, even with the new modern marriage, open, polygamy, same sex, whatever, anything that I and this is my personal opinion, anything that God did, because he's not in all marriages. God, he honors marriage because marriage represents Christ in the church and how he loves the church, and, you know, but he's not, I don't feel like, unless you invite him in, he honors it. But unless you invite him in, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's between them and God. And if you're going into that covenant intentionally, knowing that this is against what God wants, woe on you.
Yeah, it's a scary thing, and that's why a big reason why a lot of people don't get married. It's just it's the numbers say don't.
It does, and see that's why I
Yeah.
want us to do this because because marriage is a beautiful thing.
I believe so.
It's a beautiful thing when you can find somebody that accepts all of you. I mean, it sounds cliche, but flaws and all, everything about you. And they have a relationship with God. So even those hard times, you pray, this and that, it's a beautiful thing to travel life because who wants to be alone? And then I'm not a sharer. I'm not sharing. I don't want to share, you know what I'm saying? So I don't get all this open contract. We gonna do this. Like, let's put the value back into marriage. Marry for love, marry for the right reasons, and enjoy life because it's gonna be better that way because that's the way God intended it.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you. I don't think love is the only reason to marry though. I definitely think that women need a covering.
That part.
I think that I maybe that's prehistoric thinking, you know what I mean? But I do definitely feel like that. I think women can a good strong woman can be your better half. Period. And I think men and women can hold each other back. You can definitely marry the wrong person. I heard it like I'm choosing my wife. I got on my knees and I didn't really consult with God about this situation, and so once this thing tears apart, God was never in it. So I just feel like people should try to establish their relationship foundation in God. I do feel like that.
And every marriage is different. You guys go to God and figure out what that looks like for you. You know what I'm saying? It works. Everyone I know who have a long, because it's rare now, but the people that we know that have a long lasting marriage, years in, 10 to 20, 30, 40 years in, has a relationship with God. You can't go wrong with choosing God and asking him to come into your marriage and learn it and research what that is to you. What do you think God is? I'm not saying my way because they told me this is the way. I'm saying research, read, and find out what that means to you, and you guys build from that. But put the value back into marriage because these numbers are ridiculous.
Yeah, they are. Before we go, I definitely have it's a question from one of our top fans. How many men are okay with their wives dating and having extramarital affairs with other men? I know it's a crazy question, but we definitely want you to comment and let us know how you feel about that, guys. And women, if you guys liked this podcast, if we got any value from it, go ahead and click on this other one, like, subscribe,